Hi listeners, it's Kat here from Aghast. I just wanted to take a minute outside of the show to let you know about alter ego empowerment coaching. It's time to invest in your relationship with yourself. We all have a tendency to put other people or tasks first, but in doing so, we can sometimes neglect our relationship with ourselves. Let me be your advocate and show you a kinder, gentler way to treat the most important person in your life, yourself. Alter Ego Wellness offers life coaching to help you achieve the life you desire through interactive online coaching sessions. We also offer online yoga and meditation classes. If you think Alter Ego Wellness may help you, please feel free to contact me, Catherine, at alteregowellness@outlook.com or at alteregowell on Instagram. Okay, now back to our show.
Hey there, everybody. Oh my goodness, welcome to another episode of Castbox, and we have a lovely episode for you today. Kat was a little bit lazy and needed a bit of a break, and so I had 45 minutes to drag myself away and do a little bit of research on some torture devices, and I picked one that I think you might enjoy. Yes, this is the second episode in our 2-episode series of torture devices, where we discuss how did they work, who enjoyed them, and how can we make them better. Today we are talking about the Brazen Bull. This one is fucking horrible. It's great, but it'll be fun nevertheless, I assure you. So grab yourself something to drink and let's get right into it. I'm John, and I am Kat, who is not here at the moment. She's doing yoga or yogurt, I don't know. And this is Castbox.
Hello everyone.
Hey everybody, oh my goodness.
What a special treat we have for you today.
Yes, a treat.
It only took a year and a half to continue this series.
Not a year and a half, because it was around this time, it was around Easter that we did the crucifixion. So
once a year, every Easter, we get blessed with John doing...
Listen folks, Kat suffered a mental breakdown.
Stop.
And she needed a break. And so I said, okay, I got 45 minutes to do some half-assed research on a torture device. So this is the second video in our great series about torture devices, what they were, who enjoyed them, and how can we make them better.
Yes.
So today we are talking about the Brazen Bull. This is one of my favorites.
Is it?
I have to admit. But before we get into this, cue the fucking music. Hey folks, we here at Castbox have a lighter touch to true crime. The lightest touch you can possibly imagine. We are like the sticky foreskin riddled with dick cheese and canestin debris.
You're disgusting.
Peeling back on the penis of true crime in order to not make a splashy urine stream into the toilet of podcasts. The reason we have to have an air of levity is because true crime sucks. Whether you're talking about murders that happened in the 1970s, the 1990s, or in the 1600s. We have to have an air of levity because we have jobs that we have to go to, and we can't be riddled with goddamn depression and anger, because we certainly aren't making any money off this fucking thing.
Great.
So if you don't like criminals and murderers and rapists to be made fun of and insulted and belittled, if that's not your cup of tea, you're a fucking fool, and you should probably watch CBC. For the rest of you, you're cultured and intellectual, and you deserve a moment of tranquility and laughter. And sit back and relax, and let's dive deep into some true crime. Let's get right pissed while we get pissed off. Bless your hearts and good luck. Okay, so the Brazen Bull. So again, we are giving Cat a break this week, so I volunteered 45 minutes of my time to research another torture device.
You volunteered?
I did. I volunteered my time. I took some time away from playing Graveyard Keeper, which is basically Stardew Valley rated R, and just wrote this piece of shit.
Okay, so...
So good luck. Last time we did Crucifixion, and I know some of you got really hung up on the fact that I didn't make another torture device episode. And I admit that was my cross to bear.
Oh, put 'em both.
So today we are covering one of the most gruesome forms of torture I fucking ever heard of, and I'm a big fan, the Brazen Bull. Or the Sicilian Bull, which it's also known as.
Oh.
So here's the history. The bull was supposedly built around 560 BC. That's before Christ, not before Common Era, because that's fucking stupid.
I didn't know it was that old.
It's fucking old. Yeah. So, built around 560 BC in ancient Greece around the area known as Sicily, now known as Sicily. The creator was a sculptor named Perilos. Or Perilaus, depending on whatever fucking...
Dialect or...
Yeah. He presented the device to some shitty oligarch tyrant named Phalaris, who was a real phallus of a son of a bitch, who apparently, like other rich snobs, was a right prick. What Perilos created was a replica of a bull made of brass, like life size, and bulls are fucking big.
Yes.
However, unlike a typical sculpture, this bull was hollow. It had a lockable hatch to crawl inside. And it had a complex set of piping that transformed any noises made inside the bull to sound like melodic whistles or recreations of like the grunting and snorting of a bull.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is dark.
So you are probably starting to understand how fucking awful this is by now. But if not, let me paint a picture for you. You take the person you want to torture and kill and you lock them up in the bull, preferably with little clothes on.
Yes.
You build a fire pit underneath the bull and then you light it up. Like a fucking frying pan or a pot roast, the brass bowl heats up and basically starts cooking the inhabitant.
Oh my god.
When I think about this device, I think about the bacon I fry for myself every morning in a cast iron pan.
Oh gosh.
As the pan heats up, the bacon fat begins to liquefy and the flesh changes colors.
Ew.
A pleasant aroma fills the room. There is a sound of crackling and sizzling coming from the pan.
Oh my goodness.
The bacon starts frying in its own rendered fat. It easily slides around in the pan in its own oils. Slowly, the flesh goes from soft to crispy.
This is both disgusting and making me hungry for bacon.
Leave it in long enough, and it gets black and crumbly. Now just take that description and switch bacon with human.
Yes. Now I wonder, my first introduction to the brass bowl or brazen bowl?
Brazen bowl. I think you can say brass bowl. I typed in brass bowl and I got the same neat fucking results.
My first introduction to it was in the movie Immortals.
I never saw Immortals.
I think that was the one with Mickey Rourke. I think that was the one. And it was so dark just hearing like and it was very true to your description that like you're hearing these weird moans and stuff that just sound like a bull huffing, and like the smoke would come out of its nose. I'm curious to know though, as you were talking about it, if there would be like when they eventually killed these people in the brass bowl, would there be like a pool of their liquefied organs or fat, or would they leave them in long enough to just cook them to as close to ash as possible?
Oh, I get to that.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Oh.
It's also, you can also see the brass bowl represented in the movie Antrim, which streamed on Shudder and terrified Cat in the middle of the night.
I can do some pretty horrific horror movies, as you know. And that one didn't really scare me watching it.
No.
I wasn't scared watching it.
In fact, we were actually a little bit bored.
Yeah, it's true. It was a bit of a boring watch. But for some reason, when we were trying to go to sleep that night, I got hit with the fear, thinking it was like this weird found footage film that maybe someone hacked Shudder and uploaded.
And you're like, oh, they wouldn't upload it if it was dangerous. Anyways, stupidity aside. So, back to the bull. What is worse is that for the folks outside enjoying the show, the screams of the individual within is manipulated by the complex piping to sound like whistles or replicate a bull's grunting and snorting.
Yes.
It's like a fun music box.
Oh my gosh.
Except instead of you're winding it up, you're just cooking a person inside to make the noise.
Yeah.
Also, a neat side note, apparently after cooking a victim in the bowl, the remains would be very shiny. And sometimes they were made into bracelets.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure if this is similar to how you can make jewelry out of cremation remains.
Yes.
But that's apparently what one witness said it would look like.
Oh my.
And what the fuck they did with it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, look at my neat bracelet. It's a charm bracelet.
Yeah, like just walking down the dirt street, it's like, oh, Esmeralda, where'd you get that necklace? Oh, it's the slave I just slowly burned to death.
So we actually do have some great reviews of the torture / entertainment device. So Marcus Tullius Cicero writes, quote, "Which was that noble bull, which that most cruel of all tyrants, Phalaris, is said to have had, into which he was accustomed to put men for punishment, and to put fire under."
I take it these aren't Amazon reviews.
Two stars.
Oh, okay.
And which is not surprising that he rated it that low, because Cicero is not a fan of Phalaris or his politics.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Here's another review. This review is by Diodorus Siculus. Quote, "If you ever wish to punish some man, O Phalaris, shut him up within the bowl and lay a fire beneath it. By his groanings the bowl will be thought to bellow, and his cries of pain will give you pleasure as they come through the pipes in the nostrils."
Oh,
5 stars.
Jeez.
Yeah, Jesus, Diodorus. And then our last one, this is by Wayne Mikowski. Quote, "Lousy service, cold food. I ordered a bowl of tomato soup. It was cold and not even half the bowl was filled with it. When I brought this up to the server, she looked at me like I had 2 heads. She did reheat it. Way too hot. Burned my tongue. Too hot, spelled with 1 O. Will not be going back to Applebee's. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. That was an Applebee's
got
review.
A bit of a mix-up
Whoops. 2 stars.
Still, though, 2 stars.
But you know what? I don't think it's much of a stretch to compare the Brazen Bull to an experience at Applebee's.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, who got tossed into the bowl, you may ask? Any famous people? Well, the guy who invented it, for starters.
Yeah, I've heard of people who have invented torture devices coming victim of their own device.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like a real horrible dragon's
den. Yes, exactly.
Well, show us how it's used. Oh, my assistant is ill. Show us how it's used. So apparently after presenting his torture device to Phalaris, Phalaris was like, fuck it, let's see how it works. And he used it on Perilos. Now, he did not die from the bowl, thankfully.
Oh my God.
He got roasted for a bit. And then when Phalaris was like, good enough, he was taken out before he died. Then Phalaris had him thrown off a cliff.
Oh my God.
So talk about like, we're just kidding. Now get the fuck off this fucking hill.
Oh my gosh, that's dark.
Yeah. So aside from its creator, Phalaris used the bowl to basically torture and kill anyone he did not like, which included many folks from the nearby town. Fortunately, the town folks said, fuck this, and karma became a bitch for Phalaris.
Yes.
He was tossed in the bowl and roasted to death when the townsfolk, led by Telemachus, overthrew him.
Okay.
And if you don't know who Telemachus is, he is the ancestor of Theron. And if you don't know who Theron is, he is the son of Anasdamus. And if you don't know who Anasdamus is, he is the grandfather of Thrasydeus. And if you don't know who Thrasydeus is, then what kind of fucking education did you receive? Other notable figures who enjoyed the Brazen Bull included St. Eustace. Him and his wife and children all got roasted to death in the bull by the order of the Emperor Hadrian.
Peaky Blinders.
By the order of the Peaky Blinders. No, by Emperor Hadrian, who was a right cunt.
How many children was there? Like, was it?
I didn't see all. I'm not fucking doing too much research on saints. But If you didn't know already, Saint Eustace is the patron saint of fire prevention.
Get out of town.
Firefighters, hunters, hunting, huntsmen, trappers, the patron saint against fire, family discord, difficult situations, torture victims, and Madrid, Spain.
That's awful.
Man, he has a lot of like duties in his job description. Holy shit. Of course, one good saint deserves another. So Saint Antipas also got the bull treatment in AD, that's after death.
Yes, thank you.
AD 92. This led him to be the patron saint of toothaches.
Stop.
No, I'm not even fucking kidding.
So there was like saints for like toothaches.
That's all he is. That's his entire fucking job is toothaches.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a saint of syphilis or something.
Oh yeah, it's probably Saint Cat.
Oh, good one.
Lastly, it is rumored that the bull was used on another Christian. It was used on a lot of Christians.
Yeah.
Lots of Christians. This time it was Pelagia of Tarsus. The reason they roasted her alive? Because she said the emperor was insane. Like, to his face. And he was like, fuck you.
Well, what a badass bitch, though.
Yeah, well, it turns out he was insane. So, is it being used today? Probably not. The last recorded use of it was 200 fucking years ago, whatever. But, you just go into the bowels of the Middle East, I'm sure, and you'll find it being used somewhere. Some asshole somewhere is using it on a fucking island full of, like, pedophiles.
Yeah.
Somewhere. You don't fucking make a movie like Hostel.
Yeah.
And say that's not happening.
Do they use something like that in Hostel as a torture device? I don't remember that movie.
I only watched like the first one.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like there's people torturing people all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
And this is such a great... And the fact that you see it in modern movies.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like there's not maybe a bull that like sings out of its nostrils the sound of its victims, but the people are using some sort of version of this concept in today's world, absolutely, as a form of torture. They're just like putting them in barrels and lighting them on fire, I
wonder if you would consider in License to Kill when they microwaved that fucking guy and his head exploded, like... That's kind of like a modern day brass bull.
Well, yeah, and they do that in The Last House on the Left, too.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Just roasting a person is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So how can we make this better?
Oh.
Well, what are your thoughts?
The brass bull?
No.
The crucifixion?
No, we're talking about the Iron Maiden today. I think it's pretty fucking good already.
I wouldn't say good, but I feel like it's pretty well constructed already. I couldn't imagine maybe making it turn.
Oh, like
a roaster.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
like
like a rotisserie.
Like a spit. A rotisserie. No, not a rotisserie.
Like a spit.
Like
a
spit.
That would be hilarious. Mm-hmm. Like instead of being in the shape of a bowl, it's like a drum.
Yeah, it's just a drum. Yeah.
That would be interesting. I think that would make for a slower death. Yeah, it's very difficult because like there's the entertainment value of it, like the humiliation.
If they made it somehow like transparent.
Yeah, that would be pretty fucking horrible. Mm-hmm. We're horrible people.
If they put spikes inside of the bull.
Yeah. Oof.
And like not like super sharp spikes, but just like a spike mat where they're just the weight of their body is.
Just put a bunch of Legos in there.
Yeah, exactly, and plugs.
Yeah, it's a pretty thoughtful torture device. I don't know. I couldn't find how long it takes to kill a person in something like that. Because like unlike being like burned to death at a pyre, like apparently you die from the smoke inhalation much faster. Like you pass out.
Or pain, yeah.
This, like you don't get the smoke inhalation, right?
Yeah.
So you're just being fried and roasted in there.
Yeah. I would imagine you would eventually, like you would pretty quickly pass out from pain.
Yeah.
I imagine being in that thing, like within 15, 20 minutes, you're passed out from pain.
Yeah.
And then after that, just hope you don't wake up again.
Yeah. Oh, here, I do have some pictures to share with you.
Oh.
So here's like one
concept.
That
one has, it's like a bowl.
Yeah.
Like the top is open.
Yeah. This is perilous.
Oh, so it's an upright. Oh, no, it's not upright.
So that's the creator. So up in the top there, that fat piece of garbage. Mm-hmm. That's Phallus or whatever the fuck his stupid name was. And then Perilous, the creator of the bull, being tossed in. He clearly is not having a good time.
No. They made the bull look creepy.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
I would not... Could you imagine being dragged? Like, remember the movie Hook, where, like, it shows the pirates being dragged to the box, and they know that box
the
is
boo
not...
box.
Yeah.
Woo.
The boo box.
No,
The boo box. Yeah.
But it's like, can you imagine just, like, being captured for whatever reason, and, like, that's where they're leading you?
Yeah.
That would be so...
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's a bad day. So this is also Saint Eustace and his family. Kind of like they're being pulled out of the bull. You can see the bull in the back there.
Oh, yes, okay. Yeah, they're not burned or anything. They just look dead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then this is Saint Antipas. Oh. And this is Pelagia of Tarsus.
So it's interesting. It looks like back then it was like an open top.
I wonder if they did that just to like demonstrate to like who was in it.
Yeah, maybe. Because the one in Immortals, if you should Google what that one looks like. It was so creepy. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that one was...
That is scary shit.
Yeah, and that's the guy that would bring him. He would wear a bull head.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Just like choosing a bull is really fucking creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking frightening.
God, there's like... And it's for sale on eBay. And it says 18 used.
Oh my god. That's horrible.
That's awful.
Okay, enough of this horrible shit. Let's switch gears and now let's listen to the wise words of His Majesty, Randall Savage.
Randall.
Hey, Freak Show. You're going nowhere. I gotcha for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Ooh, I feel like that was good for today's episode. Very creepy and sinister. I wonder who he was talking to. Like what pre-match.
I don't know. But
Shit
it's
talking.
almost creepier when you say it slowly like that.
And
like
not in his voice.
yeah, like as if like Jake the Snake was saying it, like, hey, Freak Show. You know, like it's creepy altogether. But that's it. That's all I have. I'll see you next Easter.
Thank you, John, for another enlightening episode of Torture Devices. We do hope we get to see you before Easter for the next one.
If you have any suggestions on torture devices that you would like to hear about, let us know in the comments.
Yes.
We may read them.
We do read them.
We read them, all 12.
And we reply. But there was a good torture device I saw years ago when Spike TV was still a thing on like 1001 Ways to Die or whatever.
Yeah.
And it pretty much looked like a triangle, like a brass triangle, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they would sit people on this triangle,
Oh,
like,
God.
so the triangle was in between their legs. They were straddling this triangle. And then they would have ropes tied to their ankles and a crank just slowly, like once a day, just cranking your feet down towards the ground. So you're like being pushed, slowly being like split in half.
That's fucked.
By this. And the guy who invented that became victim to his own device. So
the lesson here is don't invent fucking torture devices.
like, you remember back in the day, like in medieval times, it was not torture. It was like very slow deaths. They weren't like quick torture devices. It was like, we want you for maybe a year, you know, if infection or whatever didn't get to them first. But anyways,
and on that happy note, drive home safe, everybody, and enjoy your week, and God bless.
goodbye.
Bye.
You can check us out on YouTube at Catam Concoction.
That's CATAM CONCOCTION.
And on Instagram at cast_aghast.
Remember, there's a silent H. Last time we talked about crucifixion, which I got really hung up on, that I didn't do a second. And feel free to interject at any moment with the cleverism.
I don't have cleverisms.
Okay. And if you don't know who Theron is, he's the son of Anismadaeum.
And if you don't know who...
Anisdamas. And if you don't know who Anisdamas is, he is the grandfather of Thrasidius.